Right. We are live. We are in Montreal. I just gave my French exam. I picked up this book and tried to read this last night. Also, some very interesting things happened. Like right at the airport, uh, there was this one guy who was right behind me. I just started a conversation and he was like, "Hey, I'm from America." And I'm like, "Okay, American guy in Montreal. You must be working in AI." And he's like, "Yes, that's what I do. How do you know?" And I'm like, "Okay, that is what Montreal is big at. Montreal is like a big AI research center. There are many universities over here, top tier talent is over here, and a lot of AI research is happening." So that was really interesting to just like guess. And for the next 30 minutes, I think we were in line waiting for a taxi, and I could pick his brain. I was able to learn a lot. Um, I was so what he did was stock picking, stock picking using AI or using algorithms, machine learning algorithms. And he was like, "Hey, we did that. We were doing this, or I am doing this way before than when AI could talk." And that was very interesting to hear because yes, machine learning has been there for a long time, and there were some use cases that were being worked on even before this entire ChatGPT hype. So that was interesting. And one question that I asked him was, he graduated from Harvard, and I was like, "Okay, what do you think are the smartest people in your network? What are your smartest friends doing right now? What is the opportunity that they're running after?" And what he said was news scraping. And that was very interesting to hear. News scraping, you are basically, again, at the end of the day, the highest leverage opportunities will come in the stock market, from a finance perspective, from a money perspective. And over there, now with news scraping, what you're doing is you're not only taking data, you're not only doing the business analysis, but business analysis from like metrics, numbers, reports perspective, but now you're also looking at the news and you're looking at all the data sources, all the credible, non-credible ones. You are getting access to all the news being generated, and then you're kind of creating a sentiment analysis of what is going to happen, how is the stock going to move, what is the narrative around it, because that's also really important. It is as much as the stock price is about the financial reports, the numbers, the metrics. It is also a lot about the narrative around the company. What is the narrative? What is the story that is being talked about by the media, by everyone? What is the story that like a guy sitting in New York listening to, or a guy sitting in Ohio listening about Coca-Cola, let's say, that is gonna affect the stock market. That is gonna affect how people will buy and sell, because at the end of the day, most people make emotional decisions when they are entering the stock market or when they play with the stock market. It's very few people believe in the value investing, where once you have done the research, once you have looked at the metrics, once you looked at the team, you believe in them, you were like, "Okay, I'll just buy it and hold it for the long term because I believe in them." Very Most of the people are buying and selling constantly. All right, so this was kind of a brief about our trip to Montreal. I've also met so many interesting people over here, so many interesting people. Um, yeah, Montreal seems to be the playground for AI over here. But let's look at this. He also mentioned like one of the companies that his stock picking algorithm picked was a Chinese battery manufacturer. So let's see if we can find that. Chinese, let's say big Chinese battery manufacturer who is competitor of Panasonic. And our battery's low, so this is cool. We'll go until the battery runs out. The biggest Chinese manufacturer competing with Panasonic is Contemporary Amperex Technology Co. Limited. CATL is the world's largest producer of lithium-ion batteries for EVs and energy storage systems, holding a global market share from 37% in 23. Tesla, BMW, Volkswagen, and Toyota. So it already works with all of them, directly challenging Panasonic's Contemporary Amperex Technology, CATL. In the EV battery market. Panasonic, once a leader, now holds about 4% market share, has slipped to fourth place partly due to CATL's rapid rise and aggressive expansion. Another key competitor is BYD, which has a 70% market share and supplies batteries for its own EVs, as well as third-party clients like Tesla and Toyota. What? Okay, so BYD is not only car manufacturing company, but it also has batteries. It seems like it seems like if you look at the background of the BYD founder, it seems like he started from batteries. From what I can slightly, what do we say? It's a very foggy memory, but I feel like that's what was the story I heard. That's the expertise they had originally, like making batteries. And then they were like, okay, if we can make the most important fundamental unit of this supply chain, then why not go to the end consumer and make a car? Supplies batteries for its own EVs as well as third-party clients like Tesla and Toyota. And then it's not only competitive with Tesla, but it's also supplying batteries to Tesla. Benefit from China's dominance in battery supply chains and government support, giving them an edge over Panasonic. Hmm, very interesting. The largest battery maker in the world is Chinese company called CATL. Most of us are unaware of this company and the crazy stuff they are doing. A thread on CATL, why it's disrupting the industry. Okay, we don't know if we should be trusting threads, but it seems like this person has a lot of followers, Aditya, and hopefully this makes sense. Thread on CATL, why it is disrupting the battery tech world and how China is winning the EV race. Doesn't have a 100-year track record of reliability like Panasonic. It isn't backed by Warren Buffett like BYD, but in less than 10 years, contemporary Toyota has become the world's largest maker with lithium-ion batteries. CATL, BYD, Panasonic, and some. 40% of all EVs sold globally were in China, and they have come to dominate the battery market. World's leading EV battery. This car looks interesting. There's Huawei as well. It also launched a lithium-based battery with an energy density of 100 watt-hour per kg, an 80% increase over current batteries and 2x the energy of a Tesla Model Y battery. The battery is designed to be safe enough for flying and could enable electrification of passenger aircraft. Located in a small Chinese city, Ningde, the company's headquarters are 90 minutes from the nearest major airport. Was still a small fishing village before CATL, CATL. Ningde was best known for its tea plantations and carp farms. Wow. Why this success? Government support to combat air pollution, rising crude import bill. Companies got subsidies on sales, cheap land leases, cheap loans from state banks from 2009 to 2022. $29 billion was given as subsidies. Research spending tax breaks were given. Local governments in China gave huge contracts to electrify their bus fleets and cabs. The city of Shenzhen was electrified by BYD with 16,000 buses. City of Shenzhen was electrified by BYD. When GM and Tesla wanted to enter the EV market of China post the above sales, China said that they have to strictly use Chinese batteries in their EVs. Oh, wow. Okay. EV battery consumption volume ranked first in the world for 6 consecutive years. Yeah, government can do that. They have strictly used Chinese batteries in their EVs. And pretty much, yeah, they have to agree because they are using a bunch of Chinese batteries. Why China is winning the EV race, lithium-ion battery components. Chinese companies have started acquiring such minerals across the globe. This is quite alarming. Chinese ownership in key battery components, electrolyte, lithium, anode, graphite, separator, lithium-ion battery, cathode, nickel, cobalt, manganese, mineral mining projects with a Chinese stake, lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese. Chinese firms control over battery minerals. And if you think the above is bad, China has taken this a step further. No matter who mines it, a vast majority of refining is done by China. With the EV market dominance in tech, Chinese companies are now out there to kill other EV makers. Lithium refining, cobalt refining, nickel refining, graphite. Wow. Lithium, graphite, nickel, cobalt, manganese. They have found a way to eliminate lithium and cobalt, two most expensive minerals. LFP batteries range of 1,000 kilometers by CATL. LFP batteries were used in 34% of the world's EVs, 5x up from 2020. Very interesting. This is 2024 last year. Okay, we got something over here. Who makes batteries for Tesla Megapack? Manufactured by Tesla Energy, the energy subsidiary of Tesla. Mega factory, Lathrop, California. Capacity to produce 10,000 megapacks annually. Lithium iron phosphate, prismatic cells, which Tesla sources from hmm, in China for its Megapack 2 and 2XL models. Okay. Lithium iron phosphate prismatic cells. Agreements with EV Energy starting supply in 26 from Malaysia, and BYD Fen Dream supplying cells for the Shanghai Mega Factory, contributing over 20% of its battery supply. Operates a new facility in Sparks, Nevada, using CATL equipment to produce LFP cells for megapacks, with an estimated output of 10 gigawatt hour annually, expected to be operational in 2025. Very interesting. China dominates the global EV battery market, producing over 75% of EV batteries, with CATL and BYD as leaders. Blade battery is renowned for safety and efficiency with a 10C charging rate, flash charging 400-kilometer range in 5 minutes. BYD's 2025 flash charging 400-kilometer range in 5 minutes. A great stuff is happening in battery. What are the latest developments in battery technology? Advancing rapidly, driven by the need for higher energy density, faster charging, improved safety and sustainability. Silicon silicon anode batteries. Silicon anodes can store more energy than traditional graphite anodes, potentially increasing EV range. Companies like Emprius Technologies are commercializing silicon anode lithium-ion batteries with energy densities up to 400 watt-hour per kg, significantly higher than conventional lithium-ion batteries. Also exploring silicon-based anodes to boost performance. High nickel cathodes, shifting towards high nickel content, increase energy density. Investing in high nickel NMC batteries, which offer capacity but require advanced thermal management. BYD focuses more on lithium iron phosphate for cost and safety. Solid state batteries, sodium ion batteries, lithium sulfur, fast charging innovations. 4C charging, full charge in 15 minutes, and 8C discharge, enabling 650-kilometer range. Developing nano-sized 10 particle anodes for high-powered, high-energy density batteries with faster charging and longer lifespans. Iron Air. 100 hours of storage at one-tenth the cost of lithium-ion, ideal for grid storage. Deployed in West Virginia, Minnesota. Zinc-based flow batteries. Scalability, longevity over lithium-ion with companies like Quino Energy advancing the technology, non-flammable. Lithium-free battery uses water-based electrolytes and safe materials, eliminating fire risk. It's being tested globally and could disrupt CATL and Panasonic's lithium-based dominance. Manufacturing and recycling innovations. AI in battery development. Optimizing performance and reducing R&D costs, recycling advances. Extracting lithium and other materials from used batteries. Reuse in batteries while CATL is embedding circular systems in its processes. Dry electrode coating. Manufacturing cost and environmental impact by eliminating wet processes. Competitive landscape. Wow, so CATL is 37%. Wow, focusing on LFP, sodium ion, solid state batteries. Its innovations in fast charging and sustainable materials keep it ahead of Panasonic. Investing in high nickel LFP solid state batteries to regain ground, however, faces challenges Scaling new technologies compared to CATL and BYD's rapid advancements. Who is CATL supplying batteries to? Let's see. Tesla, Volkswagen, BMW, IXI4 long-term supply agreements in place. Volkswagen, it is ID3 for other brands, including Audi, Skoda. Okay, they have a lot of, right, subsidiaries over here. Mercedes-Benz, EQ series, including EQS, EQE, focus on high performance and long-range applications. I think it's very interesting. Like everybody will just follow whatever Tesla is doing because Tesla has figured the solution out. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory, products like Megapack, Toyota, supporting models like the BZ4X, future electrified vehicles, Hyundai, Kia. Okay, Hyundai and Kia are together. Iconic lineup and Kia's EV6, among others, particularly the Chinese and global markets. Neo, Li Auto, Xpeng. Xpeng is a new one. Geely. Geely is, yes, Geely is Volvo and Polestar. Honda, ENS1, Ford, Mustang Mach-E, F-150 Lightning plant battery, are in Michigan to localize production. Stellantis, yes, that's a big one again. Peugeot, Citroën, and Jeep. Winfast. Winfast is a new one I'm looking at. I just recently in Vancouver, I looked at Winfast. Looked pretty interesting. Energy storage systems, next era, Influence. Okay, Daimler, Yutong. We got everything. All right, perfect. That's the stream. This was a quick one, but that's the stream. Thank you.